Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. Back with me again, Joseph, your host. Today we're going to travel back in time to meet a very brave and special person, Blessed Arthur Bell. His story is all about courage, faith, and doing what's right, even when it's super hard. Are you ready to hear about this amazing saint? Let's get started. Our story begins a long time ago in England. In the year 1590, a baby boy named Arthur Bell was born. Arthur grew up in a loving family that deeply cherished their Catholic faith. When Arthur was just 8 years old, his father passed away. It was a sad time, but his kind uncle, Francis Daniel, took him in. His uncle was a wise and good man who made sure Arthur had a great education and learned all about God's love. As Arthur grew up, he felt a special calling in his heart. He knew God wanted him to do something important. So, when he was 24, he traveled all the way from England to other countries in Europe to study. He first went to a college in a place called St. Omer, and then to another one in Valladolid, Spain. He was a fantastic student. He learned so much about the Bible, theology, and how to be a good priest. After finishing his studies and becoming a priest, Arthur felt another tug on his heart. He met a friend who was a Franciscan friar, and he was so inspired by their simple life of prayer and helping others. Franciscans follow the example of Saint Francis of Assisi, who loved all of God's creation. Arthur knew this was the life for him. So, in 1618, he joined the Franciscan Order in Segovia, Spain. When he became a friar, he chose a new name to show his new life in God. He chose the name Francis, after his beloved uncle, and the founder of his order, Saint Francis. Father Francis, as he was now called, was incredibly smart. Can you guess how many languages he could speak? Not one, not two, but 7. He knew Latin, Hebrew, Greek, Spanish, French, Flemish, and of course English. Wow. Because he was so knowledgeable, he was asked to become a professor. He went to a town called Douai in France to help rebuild the English Franciscan community there. He taught other young friars and even became the guardian, which is like the leader of the friary. He was a wonderful teacher and a kind leader, guiding his students with wisdom and patience. But Father Francis's heart was always with his home country, England. During this time in history, things were very difficult for Catholics in England. Because of something called the English Civil War and other conflicts, it was actually against the law to be a Catholic priest there. Priests had to work in secret, hiding from soldiers and officials. It was very dangerous, but Father Francis was not afraid. He knew that people in England needed priests to bring them the sacraments and to remind them of God's love. First, he was sent to Scotland in 1632 to try and start a Franciscan community there. It didn't quite work out as planned, but that didn't stop him. 2 years later, in 1634, he finally returned to his beloved England. 5 and 9 whole years, he traveled in secret, celebrating Mass in hidden chapels, hearing confessions in quiet rooms, and teaching families about the faith. He was like a spiritual superhero, working in the shadows to keep the light of faith burning brightly, who brought hope and comfort to so many people who were scared and struggling. But working in secret was very risky. In November of 1643, while traveling through a town called Stevenage, Father Francis was arrested by soldiers. At first they thought he might be a spy. They searched through his belongings, and what did they find? They found papers that proved he was a Catholic priest. In England at that time, this was considered a very serious crime. Father Francis was taken to the famous and feared Newgate prison in London. When he was put on trial, he didn't try to hide who he was. The judges asked him, "Are you a priest?" And with great courage, he proudly said yes. He knew that admitting this would mean he would be found guilty, but he could not deny his sacred calling from God. He was ready to give everything for his faith. The court found him guilty. His sentence was the most severe one possible. When the judge announced the terrible punishment, something amazing happened. Instead of crying or being afraid, Father Francis was filled with a holy joy. He began to sing a beautiful hymn of praise to God called the Te Deum. He even thanked the judges. He told them they were giving him the greatest gift imaginable, the chance to be a martyr for Christ, to show his love for Jesus in the most powerful way possible. On December 11th, 1643, Blessed Arthur Bell was taken to a place called Tyburn in London, where many martyrs had given their lives. It is said that he faced his death with such peace and serenity that even the man in charge of the execution was deeply moved. Seeing Father Francis's incredible faith, the executioner later decided to become a Catholic himself. Father Francis's final act was one of powerful witness, bringing another soul closer to God. So, what can we learn from the story of Blessed Arthur Bell? We learn that faith is a treasure worth protecting. We learn that true courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about doing what is right, even when you are afraid. Father Francis could have stayed safely in Europe, teaching and writing books. But he chose to go where he was needed most, into the heart of danger, all for the love of God and the people he served. Years later, in 1987, the Church officially recognized his heroic bravery. Pope John Paul II declared him blessed, which is the step right before becoming a saint. Today, we remember Blessed Arthur Bell as one of the great martyrs of England and Wales. His story reminds us that God gives us the strength to face any challenge. He shows us that one person, filled with faith and courage, can light up the darkness and inspire others for generations to come. So, next time you face a tough choice or feel a little scared, think of Blessed Arthur Bell. Ask him to pray for you to have the same courage and a heart full of love for Jesus. Thanks for joining me today to learn about the incredible life of Blessed Arthur Bell. I hope his story inspired you as much as it inspires me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next story. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy and hungry for holiness. See you next time, and God bless you always.